There's a company in Ontario that is in the business of putting bodies into liquid that dissolves them, and then they dump the liquid into the sewer. This is not the mafia. This is Aquagreen Dispositions. They're part of the new green wave of cemetery services. This is in reaction to people wanting to not pollute the environment by cremating bodies and creating carbon in the atmosphere. They found a way to just dissolve the body in a vat of acid and then pour it down the sewer.
Wow. It's interesting to me how this industry, the burial industry, is changing so much, and there's so many new concepts and ideas coming out. We're hearing about pods of trees that you can turn yourself into a tree. We're hearing about these mushroom suits so that you can be degradable into the soil, and the mushroom fungi can eat up at you.
Shoot people up into
Obviously,
space.
we're running out of space, and we're thinking about greener ways to get rid of ourselves. This one sounds a bit gross to me, though, to be honest with you.
Well, Elliot, it might, I'm sure some people could look at the idea of it and say, well, what's the difference? You're going to biodegrade into the soil anyway, or whatever the case is.
Are the chemicals harmful? Because if it's enough to dissolve a body.
They seem to have worked this out. This is what Ted Joint, the superintendent of facilities at Smith Falls, this is the city that this company is in, and he's in charge of the waterworks.
Hang on a second. His name's Ted Joint,
and
he's in the body disposal business.
He's
Come
in
on,
the pipeline, pipes, Joint. So he takes care of the pipes in the city, and he's done some investigating about some testing of the water, and he says this: we consistently monitor for about the last year. It's nothing to be concerned about, nothing more than what happens at other industries.
Oh, that's not encouraging.
What is he saying?
That's terrible.
That other industries are dissolving bodies and dumping them in the sewer?
Well, no, he's just saying other industries are really super toxic. So we're no more toxic than any other toxic industry, so we're fine. That's not a very good test.
And there's a bunch of toxic chemicals in your water anyway, so don't worry about it.
It's already happening.
There's cocaine in lots of... there's always those stories about there's so much cocaine in people's water.
Yeah,
you name it. Well, that doesn't sound terribly good. That's not a good start, is it?
Aquagreen Dispositions.
But you keep
Elliot.
saying that in a soft, lighter voice.
Yes.
It doesn't make it better.
Well, Dale Hilton, the owner of Aquagreen Dispositions, thinks it's a very good solution.
Okay.
He says this: you're entering yourself back to your natural state as you came into this world. You come in by water, you leave by water. It's green all the way around.
And we're made up of mostly water anyway, aren't we?
You're not leaving by water, you're leaving in a vat of acid.
Did you come into the world up a sewer hole? I didn't. I don't know about that, but that's where you end up. You end up going down a sewer. That's very unceremonious.
Yeah, it's somewhat undignified.
Yeah, it is. I'd rather be a mushroom or a tree, but just going down the sewer hole.
Flushing down the toilet.
Now,
it's like what you do with a goldfish.
Yeah, I mean, you don't dissolve the goldfish, you just flush the whole thing down there. But I suppose, they do have certain parameters here for humans. Ted Joint, the superintendent of this facility, he chimes in with this because the question was asked, what do you do if they have to do a bunch of bodies all at once?
Oh,
then
mass production or mass destruction.
Will that change the outcome of the chemicals in the water? He says this: it could be a problem. We haven't experienced that yet. I don't know how many bodies they'd have to do in a day for that to be a problem. The liquid mixes with all the other wastewater from the Galapagos Center, so it tends to dilute it down quite a bit before it gets into our pipes.
Well, I've got to be honest with you, Ted's not inspiring confidence in me. First of all, he doesn't know what the capacity is, and second of all, he said it's toxic, but no more toxic than we've already got.
Yeah, if you got a lot of bodies in one day, that could be a problem.
What happens if you've got a pacemaker? Or what happens if you've got metal bits in your body? How happens then? Or does all of that just get dissolved down?
It's a very good question. What do you think happens, Joe?
I think the middle bits get in your water.
No, they take them out. What they do is they recycle them. That's the only thing left. If somebody has like a artificial joint or some sort of implant of some kind, that's the only thing left. So they take those and they clean them up, and then they send them to third world countries and repurpose them. See, it's all green.
Who's got that job? That's a terrible job.
They just pick up, we can use that.
It's interesting, though, to think where we'll be, 1,000 years from now, because obviously the world is overpopulated and it's growing, and it's going to be very, very rare that we bury someone in a normal way in 1,000 years.
we're all just gonna be molecules of water floating around the sewer.
Someone will be drinking you
I hate
in a
that
few years.
idea.
That's a terrible
I
idea.
hate-
What a gloomy story.
I want to be shot off into space. Shoot me off into space, please.